Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Gruber Wired. I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson, and welcome once again.
Welcome. It's almost Independence Day.
Independence Day, Inauguration Day coming right around the corner.
Yes, it's Independence Day and New Year's Day all wrapped into one.
Yeah, it's a fun time of year for sure, especially, with what we're looking at now, the inauguration, everything coming up. But, hey, it's going to be a cold one, too. We
Always is.
Last week we talked on the show that hey, we haven't had winter yet. Then all of a sudden winter pulls in here for us anyway. Our winter lately is, nights are down in, low 30s, 35, 36.
Yeah.
And typically during the day, we've seen 70s today, but this next week we're going to be in the low 60s.
It's great. We're having 2 weeks of winter this year. That's pretty good. The only problem is we're not getting any rain.
No, I looked this up. We haven't had any serious measurable rain since August of 22.
Well, as of yesterday, it was like 145 consecutive days.
Yeah,
and
since
we were
rain.
like 5 days away from a record.
Yeah, it's crazy. We need some rain, some moisture, so send it our way, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, today we're going to be talking about, a little bit about the inauguration and what to expect in regards to tech policies and maybe some changes.
New administration,
within the new administration coming forward.
It'd be kind of nice to have like business people in charge of things again. And the business climate should be great.
Oh, it should be. I think it might start off as a bit of a roller coaster, but I think it'll even out and we'll settle in.
Yeah, I think we're going to settle in pretty fast and it's going to be good. So, we're excited. I know I am, and
yeah, Mr. Politician here, right?
Yeah, well, it's just what's good for America,
Yeah.
So we've been through some hard times, and I'm excited to see us get into a new golden age of America.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, and locally here, right? You're actually running for a particular office here.
I am. I'm running for Congressional District 1 member at large for the Arizona Republican Party.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Dedicating some time and helping make the change out there.
I'm very involved with the county party right now and with my legislative district, which is District 2, which is where we are as a business, where I live, where you live. So this is just being involved with the state party now instead of just the county and the legislative district. So just a little bit of, trying to bring business sense into the equation. And
we appreciate that. We need people like you out there, doing those jobs for us and helping us out. It's appreciative.
Yeah, it's it's kind of funny because the state executive committee for the party, there's almost 90 people on it because there's 3 members for every county. There's 15 counties in Arizona. There's 3 members for every congressional district, so there's 9 congressional districts, that's 27, 10 members of the executive committee, national committeeman, national committeewoman, and then the president of every Republican organization with 2,000 plus dues-paying members has a seat on there.
Wow.
So it's almost 90 people, which is the size of the Arizona legislature, the House and the Senate combined. Yeah. That's a lot of people.
That's wild.
But, there's a lot of work to do.
Sure.
So.
And that's a position where people get into that just having to take the time and moment to dedicate is just a blessing.
Right.
So thank you, Mark.
It is. You bet. My pleasure. Yeah. Look, voting is the most important thing you can do, but I've always wanted to have a little bit more of a say in what goes on and meet the people that make, the laws in this state and for the city and the county. And so really important to me to just add a little extra personal touch to things. Sure.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right on, Mark.
So if you have any comments while we're going, feel free. John's got a prize here.
Yeah, today we have a Gruber Motors t-shirt. This is a 3X.
We'll mail it anywhere in the country.
We will, and here's how we're going to give this away. Go ahead and chime in and let us know. Cass has already picked a number from 1 to 100. Okay. So chime on in, give us a comment, leave a number. The closest person to that number, we will send them this shirt.
Right. Now, it's got to be while the podcast is live, not, a week from now or whatever.
Yeah, after the number's revealed.
So if you're watching, please chime in, get your guests in now. If we only have one guest, guess what? You're the closest.
Yeah, there you go.
So
speaking of guests, last week we had Jacob chime in, right?
Yeah.
And talk
somebody
with us a little bit.
Requested one of our samples, which you got out to him.
Yeah, but what was really cool is we were talking about cabling and so forth,
Right.
and just what we see out there in
Common
the field,
mistakes.
common mistakes.
Right.
But he sent us a few pictures, so we thought
Okay.
we'd share that with the
We'll
audience
start
today.
out with that.
So, Jesse, if you want to pull up picture number 1, these again come from Jacob, who shared these with us and his experience out in the field. And you can see there the cabling that it's a little bit on the messy side coming down. Looks like it was really nice and organized till it got down to the
It started
top
out
of that.
good.
Yeah.
Right? And then, this cable's too long, and so we're just going to coil it and lay it on top of the
Just lay
equipment.
it here and let it go.
Yep.
But you can see there up towards the top there that it's nice. You got the Velcro wraps, you got your bundles that are nice and tight, and then you can kind of see where it just gets a little bit out of control there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And those cables are heavy. I mean,
Yeah, they are.
a regular Cat 6 cable weighs what, 26 pounds per 1,000 feet?
Per 1,000 feet, yeah.
Right. So it's not light when they do those runs, and they got those bundles of 12 and higher.
Yeah.
There's
Some weight in there.
there is some weight in there.
So definitely have to take a look at your racking when you're dealing with that much weight, especially coming out of the ceiling void the way it is there.
We have
where they
great cable
remove the 12.
managers for that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And a lot of them now too.
We do have a lot now. Thank you, Chaz.
Yeah. There you go.
Let's go to picture number 2. Here we go. And this might be the front side of this. I can't tell, or it looks like it might be the same area.
Yeah,
but
I don't see the coiled. No, it could be.
it looks like it's just the side there.
It may be. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, look. Yeah, there you go.
You think?
Anyway, yeah, it could be. But what I notice about this is look at the front of this and see all the wiring and the loops coming out there.
Yeah.
This is where, again, if you pay a little bit of attention and understand this, did some proper measuring on this, you could probably run a lot of this with some 6-inch patch cords instead of having like a 3-foot patch cord in there.
Right.
Just like it shows up at top where he's showing you there. Look how nice that run looks in comparison. So that's one of the benefits of us doing structured cable assemblies. You can call and say, hey, I need a 7-inch cable. I need a 8-inch cable, 8.5, 9, whatever it might be.
Right.
We can design those cables to meet the needs for that racking system and keep it nice and tight and looking fresh. The other thing too is when you see that up there where he is pointing out, it looks nice. You get nice, even airflow through that area.
Right.
In compared to where you have a bunch of jumbled cables there where it disrupts the airflow.
Well, and this is kind of what we were talking about too, about, you start out with the system and then stuff happens, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to add this. Oh, I got to add that. And the urgent rush crushes out, the good practices.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So it's,
We got a comment there. Qualified gamer. That's the Cat 6A for apps. It's the front of the racks.
okay.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. No, and we appreciate you sending the pictures in. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's nice. It helps us.
Did you receive the?
He hasn't received the samples yet, and I talked to him a little bit about that.
Okay.
And the problem is they're having a lot of stormy, icy conditions, and
okay.
a lot of those deliveries are a bit delayed right now.
Gotcha.
But I will follow up with you to make sure you receive those samples. I did put them out there in the mail. So
Absolutely.
we have a third picture. And here we go again. Take a look at that. Again, some really nice bundle work coming down. As you can see it coming together there, especially. Is that an orange conduit? That is what that is, isn't it?
It looks like some interduct.
Which interduct is really nice to use. It makes things look clean,
right?
When you come down through there. But get down in there and you kind of see that rat's nest start to develop.
Yeah, no, I think this is a little more. So there's this definitely goes with the first picture because there's the coiled
laying off the top there.
Yeah,
I think this is all the same, but yeah, you're absolutely right. No, I think a lot of the issue with this particular build, of just by looking at it at first sight, is just using the wrong length of cabling.
Right, and like you said, we make them different lengths, so it can be exact or it can be close. Yeah. Right. You don't have to. Yeah, Jacob. We knew it was you, man. we got your handle over there. The idea is that when you put it in and you just go buy off the shelf and you buy a bunch of 1 footers or 2 footers or whatever, and it really doesn't lend to make it a neat setup. And then having the wire managers in the front also does that, especially the finger ones,
Sure.
where you can come through with them and everything else is kind of obfuscated a little bit, so it makes it, if you have to do coil a little bit, it's hidden.
Yeah.
Right?
It's obscured, so you don't see a lot of that in that essence. But yeah, a lot of this could be resolved with a different, just taking a look at the structured cabling itself and using some cable management. But yeah, Jacob, thank you once again for sharing with us.
Definitely.
We do appreciate it,
Yep.
This is what we like. This is good to see this, coming from people out there in the world. Totally cool.
Okay, so the orange, the flex,
there we go.
Yeah, the interduct has the fiber in it, he says.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Nice.
So the orange inner conduit is for fiber going to switches around the building. Very cool. Yeah, right
Great.
on. Good stuff.
Right.
Good stuff. Thanks again for sharing that, Jacob. We appreciate it. You going to pick a number for us, Jacob? 1 through 100? See about winning this shirt?
Yeah, we've got to have at least one person guess.
Somebody's
We
got to
know
guess.
you're out there.
Throw a number out there.
Yeah, if you're watching this live, throw a number out.
So we know big things are coming this year in 2025.
Right.
Right. And it's just going to be crazy. And it's starting off with this inauguration. I don't know that we've seen an inauguration like this that has this kind of, star-studded tech power going on.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of high-powered people at the inauguration, and a lot of money has been donated for the balls and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We have Shu Chu, who is the CEO of TikTok, who's going to be there.
Which is kind of ironic if we're looking to ban TikTok.
That's why I'm saying I really don't think we're going to be dealing with any kind of ban.
No, if so, it'll be brief, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that will just kind of take care of itself and move on.
Yep. They got to, for whatever reason, they got to go through whatever hoops, jump through the hoops to make it work.
Yeah.
But we got Tim Cook from Apple. Mm-hmm. Yep. And actually, he and Trump have had a long-term, friendship.
They've had a long-term relationship for some time. Yeah. Yep.
Sam Altman, OpenAI, is going to be there.
This is a wild list. Of course, you got Elon Musk, right?
Yeah, well, he's, he's going to be there jumping up and down.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine, right?
He's probably going to be coming and sitting right next to Jeff Bezos, right?
Jeff Bezos will be there. It's a good idea to get, because he's got Blue Origin, right?
Yeah. In fact, they just launched, was it this morning?
Well, it was last night. I was watching it on TikTok. I saw them. Okay, we have a guest, 27.
Yep, first number, 27, on the books.
All right, so the competitor for SpaceX is Blue Origin, right?
Yeah,
and so what was it? The Glenn rocket was what they launched yesterday,
so.
Right?
That was the tallest rocket ever built. Something like 30 stories.
Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's wild.
I was watching it for maybe like 3 or 4 minutes on TikTok Live. They just showed it had just taken off and was going downrange. So I know it was going to be landing, just going up and coming back down.
I don't think it landed, actually. I think that the booster itself, they had to retrieve a different way. It didn't work as according as what they were looking for.
Can't be as pretty as what Elon did. Right.
But it's cool because that's part of the technology we're talking about. Right. You have these two competitors out there with this space race going on. Yep. But just talking from a technology point of view, going from where we went with the space shuttle program to where we're at now, being able to see those boosters come back down and land themselves.
Right.
And just a huge advancements. But that saves money.
It does.
It saves a lot of time. Oh, look at that. We got another guess here, 69. Thank you, nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
Nuclear reactor. Love it.
Nuclear reactor. Here we go.
Love it. So,
So Mark Zuckerberg's kind of done a 180.
yeah, he's kind of turned around, but I think it's not the fact of 180. I mean, people start to come together, right? Even if you have disagreements, you agree to disagree, and then you start to come together.
Oh, well, I'm talking about him getting rid of the fact checkers
the fact checkers,
on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bias, don't like what you say, so we're gonna allege there are facts that really aren't there.
Yeah. And a lot of that is going to change, especially in the industry of social media.
Yeah.
I think we'll see that change dramatically.
Sure. And then who's that? Who's the
is it Sundar Pichai?
Yeah, CEO of Google.
CEO of Google. Wow. So pretty star-studded tech lineup there at this inauguration going on. It's just wild. But that brings a lot of good energy to what is taking place in the tech world, you know, and what's going on. And one of the first things they're going to talk about is deregulation of industry in the tech world, especially when it comes to AI.
What did you guys say over there?
Yeah, look at the comment.
Lizard, though.
He is.
I agree.
He
He's
is one of the lizard people. Yes, we understand that.
That's funny.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deregulation and collaboration, right?
Yeah.
The idea is the free market works best when it works free.
Sure.
When it's unencumbered, and when you're I understand when you're dealing with petrochemicals and things like that can
be
harm the environment.
Harmful. Yeah.
Right. But with tech, spurring innovation is absolutely critical to our future.
Oh, sure. This innovation leads to tomorrow. It leads to where we're looking to build our new foundation and move forward from.
Right.
And especially in the AI world, I think that now that this is really taking off, they do need to look at some regulation. But how deep does that regulation go?
What do they need to regulate about it?
Well,
yeah. I mean,
well, you're going to have the regulation depending on how people use it per se. There'll be some usage regulation
name,
and things
image, likeness. There's certain things that, granted, you don't want AI doing. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. So there'll be some of that, but the more of the more they deregulate the marketplace, as you were saying before, and take away some of those regulations that are out there and open up the free market to allow it to do its thing.
Yeah.
And we say free market. You have the economy. There's different markets. This is a tech market we're taking a look at.
Right.
And so opening that up and allowing, I guess you'd say, unrestricting the free minds.
Right.
Right. And letting that energy flow.
Right. And when we were, we've dealt with different permutations of this over, since Al Gore invented the internet. Right. So there's a lot to it. When it comes to, online safety, and yet still being able to be a country that has a First Amendment.
Yeah.
We are free to speak. We're not free of consequences, though. Right.
True.
So people need to understand that, there can be ramifications for abusing your rights. Your rights still exist, but you do have the ability to abuse them.
Sure.
And suffer.
Yeah, and you have to. They have to have consequences for abuse of the system, no matter what system you're using. Right.
But the idea of 100 senators and 435 representatives having an idea of what it should be, I don't know.
No, it's got to come from the industry.
Right. Definitely first from the industry, and also from, I would say, common sense citizenry. People know.
We know.
Yeah. We know what's good and what's not,
And what's good, looking at the next topic here, cryptocurrency. This is something that's been around for a while, and they're taking a look at to see what they can do from a deregulatory stance towards cryptocurrency and encourage its growth.
Right.
there just hasn't been a lot of regulation in this area out
Do you
there.
got any crypto?
I have a little bit of crypto and
Me
Doge.
too. Yeah, I got some Ripple, some XRP,
Some Ripple, XRP.
Yeah. What about you guys over there? Any crypto people?
No.
No.
Nope.
No.
I don't have crypto.
Yeah, no, I've got some
No crypto.
Dogecoin. I bought that a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be darned over the, with what's going on here.
Right. Department of Government Efficiency.
Correct.
Yeah,
My
Doge.
Dogecoin is like quadrupled in value.
Right.
I mean, pretty much overnight. So that's nice to see. I'm waiting to see if it hangs on. Yeah, what you got?
I'm muted. Sorry. Aaron showed me this, or told me about this earlier. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's an image of a Cybertruck
Yeah.
that somebody customized for Dogecoin.
Did they really?
Let me make sure this is safe for work. It's on Twitter. Okay, there you go.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
There you go.
Don't know if I do that. I don't know if I like it that much. Look at that.
So bow wow.
Look, in the passenger seat. Even
Elon.
got him up there. Love it.
Yeah, this one might be AI, but this is actually a real truck.
That's cool. Yeah, how fun. People can have fun with this. I wonder if they did one for Sheba.
A truck?
Yeah, they do a truck for Shiba Inu as well.
That one is such a hard coin to like.
There's just so much of it. I mean, when they dump that on the marketplace,
I had like
just
6 or 7 million of them or
Yeah.
something like that. And, it's like so infinitesimal fractions of a penny.
It is, and it's just one of those that is so plentiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been dumped on.
Yeah.
Should move along here. Next, let's talk about, let's see here, National Cyber Strategy for Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Protection.
Right.
Wow, this is a big one, and this hits people all the time.
Right. Yeah.
We were just talking before the show how my wife had gotten caught in a couple of these.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's two types. There's the personal harm. Somebody's identity theft. Them putting information, thinking they're talking to one entity when they're talking to another, and really, I mean, you got to be careful online if you're accessing your Amazon account. That's one thing.
yeah,
But you get a pop-up ad and they're asking for your information. Don't do it. It's just tough. But there's also government security and all of the efforts, because now cyber spying is a huge part of national security. It's a huge threat.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse.
As
time goes by.
You're going to see this war on cyber strategy like this just take off.
Right.
I mean, the more the AI gets involved and is going to be used in some of these manners,
Right.
There is a need for cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got there. Clifford Inu to the moon.
It's probably Shiba.
To the moon. We would hope it would go to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's a big push going on XRP right now. On XRP, there's a big push right now.
Yeah, crazy.
That's why I kind of jumped in. I think I jumped in like a week and a half ago.
Yeah,
and it's up like 40% since I jumped in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, cybersecurity, we're always hearing about this. We're hearing about cyber attacks. The one thing I notice is that by the time there's a cyber attack that has taken place, we, the consumers, don't find out for months down the road that this has already happened. Yeah. And so I think that what you're going to see is a lot more transparent, insight into this when it does happen.
Right.
Because as a consumer, I want to know if it's happened to me. I want to know now. I don't want to know 6 months, a year from now.
Right. Well, I think there is a law where they have to notify now.
Yeah.
If any company, business who has any information on you at all has been compromised, that I believe they do have to notify you. And in some cases, in some states, they require, a year, them to pay for a year of credit monitoring for you and all sorts of stuff like that. So, The efforts are still there, and I think they're going to ramp up as the Trump administration, really goes after China and predatory practices of the Communist Party. Then I think there's going to be, pushback. I think they're going to try harder to damage American interests.
They are. It's going to happen. So, what you can do at home is protect yourself. Yep. Understand and learn how to protect yourself with regards to
help the hackers. No. Don't help them.
What else is coming up that Trump is really big on is critical infrastructure.
Yeah.
Right? And we've seen a lot of this development in our area where we have Taiwan Semiconductors just going nuts here in Phoenix.
Right. TSMC.
They are just boom, and Intel and these chip manufacturers, we're putting that infrastructure in.
Right.
And Trump is going to support that, and he has. And this administration is going to give us a lot more insight to that infrastructure.
Right. And, it just makes a lot of sense to bring as much home as can be brought home for building the technology that we're used to having in our lives now. Intel is great for the Valley.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're a huge employer. They produce the premier product of chip manufacturing. They're innovative. All the jobs there are high paying, well paying jobs, and we appreciate companies like that. So, TSMC coming in kind of a support role for ancillary chips that, are that support, the devices, cell phones, things like that. Big deal for us.
Yeah. And it's great that we're bringing it back here to the homeland and being able to produce this for ourselves. Now, it's going to take some time, of course, like anything else, for that adjustment period where we get manufacturing back home in the United States.
Right.
Which leads me to the one thing I did want to talk about today that we have a few moments left are the tariffs.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big reasons we're starting to get manufacturing back on, at the homeland here, is because there's all this talk of tariffs. Okay.
Yep.
Probably going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened before. It's probably going to take place. Administration is going to implement the tariffs. To what extent, I don't know. But the thing about the tariffs is, and people, go kind of crazy a little bit. Oh my God, everything's going to go up. Yeah, typically when the tariffs go up, we see the cost in consumer products go up. I mean, is it directly related? Does get passed on, correct?
Sure.
But what people don't realize is that what we're doing is we are evening the playing field, basically.
Right. Essentially, even though, cheap goods being produced overseas, being tariffed, right, in theory does raise pricing. What in practice, what it is designed to do is make manufacturing here more affordable.
Correct.
Which adds jobs, which adds money to the tax base, which benefits everybody. So, the idea being that we want as you said, level playing field, so that we're not competing against against countries who are paying their workers $1 an hour.
Yeah, and the thing is some of it's smoke and mirrors, right? Because what typically will happen in these scenarios, since I've done a little bit of research on this, you'll have the tariffs come into place, and at first it hurts a little bit, right? It's a little bit painful for us because we're like, man, this is costing more to the consumer. But as time goes on, and like you said, manufacturing comes back, we create more jobs, you see more tax revenues go in.
Right.
Typically, that's when we start to see tax breaks come.
Right.
And eventually it offsets that pricing, so you're kind of back to even where you were. It's kind of that smoke and mirrors. We just have to take time to move around a little bit and readjust the economic side of the tariffs and our tax bracket.
Right.
So,
well, that's one thing Biden didn't get rid of was the tariffs. When he took over, they didn't get rid of them.
No.
They liked that revenue.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a kind of a genius thing. And not just because it was Trump, but the Department of, or the External Revenue Service, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was genius. I mean, you think about it, everybody hates the IRS, right?
Sure.
So let's have an external revenue
That's
service.
right.
Let's
so the rest
charge
of the world
everybody
can
else.
hate them too.
Right, right. Let's charge everybody else. Let's,
think it's
let's
a
make
great
sure that
idea.
foreign, companies are paying what they're supposed to be paying. Let's make sure that, tariffs are being collected. Let's make sure that anybody benefiting from the United States is paying.
Sure. And if you look at history, at one point in time, we didn't have a federal income tax, right? We
Right.
had tariffs,
Right.
And so the system has proven to work before.
Right.
And I think what we're seeing is a migration period right now where they're taking a look saying, hey, can we change the federal income tax back and maybe get away from it
Yeah.
and find another solution? And going back to the roots movement where we started and saying, hey, time out, let's try and take a look at this again.
Right.
So we'll wait to see how that plays out and what happens.
It's going to be a fun 4 years.
So yeah, hold on to your seats because it's coming, right?
A new day in America.
Hey, you ready for the numbers here?
So we got
Cass, what number did you pick for us today?
47.
All right, we had the number 27 and 69.
the one's 22 and the other one's 47.
Yep.
So 20. So Jacob wins.
Jacob, yes, there we go.
So
Okay.
you already got his
I have
address.
your address, Jacob. We got the
Shirt's
sample
coming out
out
to
to you,
ya.
so we'll get a shirt out to you as well.
There
So,
we go.
Cool. Very cool. Well, yeah, these shows go a little bit faster nowadays. So like, share, subscribe. Feel free to reach out to what's our email address again?
It is wired@gruber.com. And we appreciate you being here today. As always, like, subscribe, and share this podcast. We appreciate you being here every Thursday, 3
Thursday.
o'clock. So for now, I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson.
Have a great day.
Thank you.